Troopers and grinders, welcome to Hank's Think Tank, where you hear all my schizophrenic thoughts regarding the best and worst in combat sports. We had a very busy MMA weekend just a couple days ago, capiche. We had incredible stuff from the UFC and the main card and the early prelims. Let's just forget that the prelims ever happened. Worst experience of my life, honestly. And then we had Super Ryzen 3 afterwards, which was fantastic from start to finish. But the best in MMA news did not come from Super Ryzen. Most of it came from the UFC and other mainstream MMA related content. And so you're going to hear some of my takes that I have developed and accumulated over the last couple days, including some breaking news that came out just a day ago. So these takes are fresh, like my Subway sandwiches. So we have our first bit of news from the MMA world, which is that apparently, and it's a very little kept secret, Dana White hates Belal Muhammad's guts. I used a thumbnail for this video that showed me replacing Dana's embarrassed face upon Belal Muhammad dominating Leon Edwards in their fight for the UFC welterweight title, because I thought it was funny. And we got to see live and in living color Dana's true feelings, which I don't think it was too hard to understand what those feelings were. He did not want Belal Muhammad as the welterweight champion. Now we've only got one UK champion, and so Dana's picking out whatever little bits of hair he has left in his head, knowing that there's only one UK champion. He better pray that Aspinall becomes the undisputed heavyweight champion. Otherwise, no UK for you, Dana, especially after that 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Start time. But yeah, he's very pissed that Belal Muhammad became the champion. When he was asked what his first thoughts were regarding the Muhammad versus Edwards main event, he said, "It wasn't a barn burner. It wasn't a barn burner. Oh yeah. Shavkat's next. Yep. Shavkat is definitely next for Belal Muhammad." He's not even keeping it a secret at this point. He despises Belal Muhammad as a fighter. Probably finds him his personality a little annoying. It's almost like he's seeing Tyron Woodley as welterweight champion all over again. Hey, what is up, Western Mass Climber? Good to see you, buddy. I'm just bringing up my first bit of MMA news, which is that Dana White publicly hates Belal Muhammad's guts and is praying for his downfall. We better be praying to Islam for that one. Praying that Shavkat gets it done if they were to have the next fight for the welterweight title. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is Belal might be on roids on top of him being annoying. And I will say that he had an exciting scrap with Leon Edwards. It was good. Belal Muhammad definitely put on the pressure, and he was the more energetic fighter of the two of them. So I don't really think it's Belal's fault that ended up being just a moderately okay fight. But Belal might be on roids given his physique and the fact that he also lies a lot, like pretending like he actually intimidated Leon Edwards in the elevator. But he still dominated Leon on the feet as much as he dominated Leon Edwards on the ground. So it's not like he was just fucking Khabib. He was beating him everywhere. He was Leon's kryptonite during that fight. It's looking like Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Belal Muhammad is next. Bruh, I got auto unsub from your channel. Why is that, No Chill? YouTube trying to fuck on me. Well, I'm going to say how it is, just like Cody Rhodes when he was talking about Ted DiBiase Jr. He was trying to fuck on me! You know, so I'll F them back, man. What, No Chill? Are you eating your Chinese girlfriend, No Chill? I think he's eating Chinese with the girlfriend. I think you minced words a little bit, Denial. But hey, he could be having his pussy and Chinese food at the same time. Who knows? But anyway, I really do believe that they're going to have Shavkat versus Belal next for the welterweight title. Do I think that Belal Muhammad stands a chance in that fight? I actually do. I actually think that Belal Muhammad does stand a chance as the welterweight champion against Shavkat Rakhmonov. The reason being that we've seen Rakhmonov eat shots. He's young. I get it. He's got a good chin like Tommy Aspinall, but his stand-up is not the best. So honestly, I think already Belal Muhammad might have the advantage on the feet. And then in terms of the wrestling, I feel like Bilal Muhammad's a lot more muscly than his age would tell you. He's 36 years old and he looks like that. Whereas it might be some other kind of enhancer, but Shavkat Rakhmonov has never looked all that muscly to me. I don't know. It just feels like he's never been in like prime shape. It never looks like he's like totally on roids just from looking at him. So I feel like Bilal Muhammad is going to be out muscle Shavkat in moments. Because I don't know. That Wonder Boy fight really convinced me that Shavkat Rakhmonov is not like at the same level in terms of just like athleticism and quick timing. Now, do I think Rachmanov will likely beat Belal? Yes, I do. Because there was a moment where Leon Edwards had Belal Muhammad. He had both hooks in. He got the back, yeah, and almost got the rear naked choke. Whereas I feel like if Shavkat has Belal in that exact same position, he's going to tap out Belal. So if there's any moment where Shavkat takes the back of Belal Muhammad, I feel like he is going to tap him out. But so the submission game, I think, is what's going to guarantee Shavkat a victory here. But at the same time, I feel like he has his disadvantages, and I do feel like Belal can take advantage of those, at least for a little while. How dare you question horse meat muscles? Oh, yeah, of course. His supplier is Joe Rogan, dude. Hangs out there on the podcast all the time. Gets horse tranquilizer from him every now and again. And I don't know, it just beefs up the muscles. He's a vegan. He's a vegan, and when you're a vegan, you just gain better muscle. You guys, it just makes all the sense in the world. Neil versus Belal, as Neil was the last one to beat Belal. I don't think that makes sense because he's not a rising contender. He lost to Ian Gary. If anything, Ian Gary would get the title shot over Belal Muhammad, over Geoff Neal, because he looked like garbage against Ian Gary. I'm not going to lie to you. So, it's just weird. Hey, Sniff, how's it going? I'm just talking about a potential Belal versus Rachmanov matchup. I think Shavkat wins, but I am giving Belal a chance in that fight. All the moments he lost grappling made JDM and Shavkat smile and Gilbert cry. That's true. Ian Gary stayed away from Neil. It's true, but he still ended up winning at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, it's all about wins and the W's and L's, X's and O's. Like I said before, I think if Shavkat gets the back of Belal, it's over. So what do you guys think of that matchup? Do you favor Shavkat in that one? Do you think that there could be a chance at choosing an underdog in Belal Muhammad? Let me know. I move on to my next bit of MMA news. Dana also said in that post-fight press conference, got to say, this is probably the biggest, most impactful press conference showing from Dana since UFC 299, where he announced just a bunch of big fights that were happening in the coming months, like 302, all those fights. This was a big one. He also allowed Muhammad Makayev's UFC contract to expire. And if you want to know my opinion, I feel like it's deserved at this point. I feel like it is deserved that Muhammad Makayev's contract expires and that he can leave the UFC, because here's the thing. He engaged in a huge fight with Manel Cap that didn't help with the media, didn't help before the press conference even happened. So he's already on Dana's bad side. He's having boring fights. I don't think I've ever seen a Muhammad Makayev fight where I could say, wow, this is a really memorable one, or wow, Makayev's just putting on great work. He's always looked bad in every one of his last 3 or 4 UFC fights. He starts beef with Cap, allows that fight to get pushed down to the early prelims, and Dana is probably still giving Muhammad Makayev a chance to stay in the UFC, because hey, if this is a great fight and the beef pays off and Makayev looks impressive, then yeah, I'm definitely going to re-sign him. And instead, it's one of the worst fights on the entire card. Super boring. I hated watching that fight from start to finish. I'm sure a lot of people who were excited for that were bored as well. And yeah, Makayev is just shot the bed again, and he never really delivers, even though Manel Cap was on one foot with that whole fight. And I just feel like it would be really bad if he cut him directly, if they tell Makayev that. Hold on, give me 1 second. Execution of a plan is just that in MMA. We may not all love it, but it works. And I lean Shavkat personally, the power advantage, despite Belal being faster and he goes for finishes, not just control. That is true. I am thinking that Shavkat would get the better of the grappling exchanges. His wins didn't save him from the chopping block. Exactly. Yeah, because he fights like a coward, even when he has every single advantage in the fight. He's just not UFC material. He could fight for a title. Hey, Belal ended up fighting for a title. I think what was really the nail in the coffin is that he started beef with Manel Cap and pretty much ruined everything beforehand. So yeah, I think that's karma for Muhammad. If he'd have just kept a cool head, then I think if he had won here, Dana wouldn't have sent him packing. And it's strange. He's probably only going to end up in Ryzen, too. There aren't a lot of flyweights unless he moves up to bantamweight. What's a reaction to Hockey from Home? No Chill MMA Roblox Marathon. I will react to it afterwards, No Chill. I will give it a watch. But my God, that nasally voice. I don't know if I can sit with it for too long. Hank hates Hockey from Home. I don't hate her necessarily. I just, there are things about her that annoy me. I know they annoy you too, Isha, as much as you want to pretend. There are things about Hockey from Home that have freaking driven you up the wall, so it's not like I'm the only one in the room. Hey, LNA Auto Works, nice to see you. Hank the Tank here. This is the Think Tank. I got different opinions. I think it's the first time I've ever seen you at the Skate Tank MMA podcast, so welcome aboard. Maybe you can enter the Skate Tank army as a trooper and grinder for the first time. What's up, City Life Project? Hey, man. Ronan, MMA Raid. Wow, thanks, Ronan. That was very kind of you, sir. Welcome aboard. I hope that you enjoy my takes. They're probably bad. Makayev versus the Clawless Baby Bear. Khabib used to ragdoll would be lit. Khabib used to ragdoll. Who is that? Is it? That isn't Cavill. Who was that? Was that Pantoja or something? I might be wrong about that one. She muted my audio on accident. Wow, well, fantastic work from Hockey from Home. They do not annoy me. Sure they do. Hank, play a Hockey from Home song, please. You're gonna have to ask Mr. Grant Gregory for that. He'll spin up an AI Ninjago song track that mentions Hockey from Home and JL and no one else. I have bars on my window. Since then, we have been good. That is true, Isha, but she still asked for your address as well as Kyle's. Liar, liar, pants on fire, Isha. I am a very understanding individual, almost to a fault. Next on our list. So yeah, it's a good thing that Belal Muhammad never got in trouble and never got in a fight, because I guarantee if Belal Muhammad started shit with Leon Edwards and was beating him up in the elevator and going back and forth and being mean to people online, if he came off of a win against a one-armed Gilbert Burns, I guarantee that Dana probably would have cut him. If his contract was coming to an end, the UFC would have let that shit expire. Sing the Hockey from Home song for 2K, and hockey gives the greatest gifts. And then you got JL in the chat trolling stuff, and he's super fat, as in cool, that's spelled PH, not F. And those two are the coolest of friends, and they make Isha's life a living heaven. Isha annoyance only shows when something else has gone wrong or shit's so exciting and he forgets to sugarcoat it. As thick when addressing Hockey from Home. Wow. She's happy to be part of the community. I ain't gonna hate, brother. I ain't gonna hate. All right. I ain't gonna hate, brother. You're a smart guy, Hank. You're a smart guy. All right. Next on my think tank list, I'm asking you all to put your hands together. If you're from Islam, I want you to pray. I want you to get down on the rug and pray that Money Moicano beats Benoit Saint Denis. Why? Because I would love to see the dream fight between Money Moicano and Paddy Pimblett. It is absolutely the fight to make at lightweight. Super fight would go well on any pay-per-view. Maybe not one in the Middle East, but they are going back and forth. Paddy issued the challenge to Money Moicano on the mic after his fight with Bobby Green. Sensational performance, by the way, from Paddy the Batty. Perfect. Went on the back foot, made Bobby come forward so that he could counter him, and then great stuff with the takedowns. A beautiful transition from the guillotine into the arm triangle. So fantastic work from Paddy the Batty. Executed the game plan perfectly. Called out Money Moicano afterwards. And then Moicano responded on his channel that he wants to fight Paddy Pimblett just as much. I'm pretty sure he's called out Paddy before. And so, guys, we need to have Renato Moicano win against Benoit Saint Denis. Maybe for that reason alone, I'd pick Renato Moicano in that fight just to wish it into the world. That would be a great matchup. It's sort of strange because they're sort of low in the rankings, but still you could use that fight as a way for them to get a top contender afterwards. And if they both want to fight each other and make that money, I tell you, motherfucker, I cannot afford to lose. Not against top 15 bullshit, blonde wig having Liverpool sucker Paddy Pimblett. Mr. Grant is a good guy. He is. Eric Cartman impression.
Ew, I ain't a problem with that Paris Olympics, you guys. We are truly becoming the minority here. Those drag queens, they're gonna get rid of all of us, and next thing you know, it's LGBT America, man. We're on the way out. We're actually 20% on Earth. They will not replace us, you guys. Ma'am! Transsexuals are being mean to me!
BSD snail-eating ass is getting tapped out. I hope so, man. I hope so. But party smoke some lad. Aye, you know that he'll come in rushing forward and Renato Moicano's gonna go out Korean zombie style, man. 5 seconds, mate. Hey, party, he's gonna use that Burger King fat he's got on his big, large belly and take that motherfucker down, stomp him out. He can't afford to lose. Party already has money, mate. He can't afford to have you mocking him, mate. Saying things about his bank account. He earned that $200K from Dana, which is bringing me to my next bit. Dana White gave Paddy Pimblett $200K, even though he allowed $100K bonuses and could have distributed it to 4 different fights. He chose to give Paddy $200K. I don't blame Dana because in a way there were no finishes on the prelims. So how many decisions was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was 7 fights that went to decision before Paddy the Baddy got a submission, which is understandable as to why he gets $200K. However, I would have liked that $100K to instead get distributed to maybe the RoboCop fight. I would consider that fight of the night. And then also Sam Patterson's submission, which were both worthy of $100K, especially since Sam Patterson and RoboCop probably aren't making that much money, nor is Christian Leroy Duncan. No Chill said, fuck riding the bandwagon. He grabbed the keys and said, get in, boys. Get in, lad. Yep. You know, we're getting out the wigs, Denial. We're getting out the Sean O'Malley clown wigs. We definitely differ on a lot of opinions, but I'm an adult, so I won't judge. But I need to know for you to keep my sub. What is your top 3 pound for pound right now? Let me take a look at the pound for pound rankings right now before I give my opinion, because I got to do my research first and foremost. Hank impressions are spot on. Thank you. That way, Patty says, Dana is so annoying. Interesting. Well, I guess even from his own guys, people don't like Dana. Okay, so just looking at this, I would say, looking at the list, fucking Aspinall's way too low. I would say the pound for pound right now would be, I'd say shit. Who do I put up there? I'd say Islam Makashev's probably number 1. Number 2, I think, would actually probably be Tom Aspinall. I think Tom Aspinall is number 2. And then I give number 3 to Alex Pereira. Because Tom Aspinall is doing what he's been doing since he entered the UFC, getting first-round finishes. Again, he has the lowest amount of time spent in the cage in a career that's had wins. And I don't know, I just feel like he's so dominant at this point. Maybe he doesn't have the best striking defense, but he is dominating every single one of his opponents and he's somehow doing it faster than Alex Pereira. So I would say that Tom Aspinall's number 2, Islam's number 1, just because he's been so dominant over really good names. And Alex Pereira is definitely in the 3 conversation. I wouldn't even have John Jones on the top 15 pound for pound list. He's a fucking pussy. Impression of SpongeBob. Hey, Squidward, I didn't know you were a UFC welterweight champion at some point. Hey, Belal, nice nose you have, good guy. Oh, that nose is so big, SpongeBob. I know, Patrick. And look at that ugly face. And look at that dumb fucking Palestinian hybrid American flag and that tie. Patrick, I think you're talking about Belal Muhammad. Oh, of course I'm not. I don't mean him. Facts, straight facts. The favoritism gets old, especially when he's giving it to those how get paid already. No, I hate Patty. Well, Hank, I'm sorry, but I'm going to take my ass to bed, bro. Good night, Sean. Catch you later, buddy. Who? Islam O'Malley, Tom. O'Malley, I'm not sure yet, just because he hasn't faced enough bantamweights in the top 10 on the bantamweight list for me to say that he's absolutely dominant. I think Pereira's done a better job than O'Malley in terms of just clearing out 2 divisions. Clearly, it's Jones, Anthony Smith, and Colby Covington. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I agree. Well, I hope you take your head out of the toilet, Denial, because it looks like you're underwater right now. Colby should have went to 155 after his loss to Usman. Yeah, that's true. I think he would have beaten Islam at that point in time. Yeah, well, prime Colby Covington definitely could have had a lot more success in the UFC, but instead he had that whole case with Jorge Masvidal, and then that turned into 2 years off, and then a bunch of dirt on Dana, which resulted in him waiting out a title shot, which is corrupt. Impression of SpongeBob asking Yancey Meridos for an autograph at a car wash. Hey, Yancey, it's nice being in your tree dome. Could I get some water? I need some water from the car wash. I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it! That's a wild top 3, but I do have old guy bias. Mine's, well, you asked for pound, right? Wait a minute. Yeah, you were saying top 3 pound for pound. You didn't say top 3 greatest of all time. You said pound for pound at the moment. That's a wild. All right. Yep, boring. I think if you understand sign language, you know what Denial's saying. Ellen-Day, that's a goat list, not pound for pound. Okay, go easy on the guy. Let's move on to my next bit of news I got for you. Oh, yeah. I got one thing to yell out, scream to the world. Where you at, Jones? Where you at, John Jones? Oh, I'll be right back. Where you at, John Jones? I'm looking, but I can't find you, man. I searched the ends of the earth. I searched the UK. I looked around in New York, where you're likely going to a comedy club trying to feel up on somebody. Where you at, John Jones? Coming for you. Where you at, George? So basically, Tom Aspinall absolutely wiped the floor with Curtis Blades, made quick work of him, and now John Jones is likely continuing to duck Tom Aspinall. He's going to tease here and there, but at the end of the day, he just wants to fight Stipe and then retire. Unless Dana finds some dirt on him to keep him around for an extension of his contract after he beats Stipe, I think that Jones is probably still going to head out. And if he goes out, I'll say this. You were talking about goatless LNA. If John Jones decides not to fight Tom Aspinall, I think that he should not be number 1. He should not be number 1 on the GOAT list because he chose to duck an opponent and leave the sport before fighting the best. So that means that he's not the best. It means he knows that he's worse than Tom Aspinall. At least Mighty Mouse fought every single guy the UFC threw his way, accepted every fight, even accepted guys who were taller than him in ONE FC. And so it seems clear to me that John Jones does not have the heart of a champion, and so he shouldn't be considered an all-time great champion. Tom is close, but he needs to get the JBJ win. Well, John Bones Jones win. Yeah, and I think he will. DC smile when people call Jones out. Gets me every time. He still hates that motherfucker despite anything he says. Exactly. And he has every reason to. When you're as much of a scumbag and a degenerate and a sadist as Jones is, literally the fucking devil's work, you can hate on him as much as he wants because he's an evil human being. Those are great for anapocalypses. I guess so. Jones's active GSP grapples and DJ always doing competition. They are currently pound for pound. LNA, it's GOAT list. It's not pound for pound. You have to rephrase that, man. Otherwise, you're gonna get in trouble in terms of the comment sections. If you post pound for pound, people are gonna keep correcting you. You got to put it on the GOAT list. Bonum, 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 bonum. I am Inspector Clouseau, and I am on the case. Bonum, 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 bonum. I.e., easy fight, then retire. Exactly. Sniff still burns ants. The 45-year-old. Yes, that's true. He's Locke in Ender's Game when he's torturing squirrels and skinning them and putting them on trees. Not GOAT, because GOAT, in my opinion, is Silva, DJ, and GSP. Nice. Let me see. GSP grapples. That's a weird. I'm sorry, LNA. That's a weird take. Grappling is not mixed martial arts. It's not the UFC either, because he may be on Fight Pass, but he still doesn't fight for the UFC. And DJ doing competition, again, that's outside the UFC. If we're talking about UFC pound for pound, I don't think they're on the list. And John Jones he's active in the UFC, but there are guys who are active than him on the UFC that are doing way more than him. I love those three. I'm hammered. Nice. DJ fought Chick-fil-A employee. Sorry, I'm sick of pretending he's in contention for a GOAT. I guess you don't think that Inoue is a pound for pound boxer then. I'm getting real sick of this. Oh, he's small conversation. He beat everyone he could possibly beat. Beat everybody he could possibly beat in dominant fashion, in every single fashion you could think of, doing Anderson Silva shit. He never went up or down a division, and yet he's considered one of the GOATs. Oi, big city. I can barely type, mate. This guy really hasn't seen me before. I have not. And eventually I will see. If you keep coming to the channel, I'll keep seeing you. Wink, wink, wink. Bro, DJ just subbed a 255 brown belt. On that alone, he's a GOAT. Exactly. No chill. Yeah, and by the way, he fucks up Bradley Martin. He absolutely dominates and destroys Bradley Martin. He just kicks at him in range and then gets the fucking backpack and taps his ass. Nisha knows I love my backpacks. No chill. He could probably still be UFC champion, to be honest. Exactly that. He ADCC still, yes. No way, dog. He never fought the caliber of guys GSP and Jones did. All right. He still did it dominantly. Hey, Hockey from Home. Good to see you, Hockey from Home. Is he even active, though? Yep, the City Life Project No Chills collab and I is the collab of 2024. It is definitely the collab of all time. MM and JJ, same size. I got MM. I got MJ. Do you think you love me, Mary Jane? Yeah. Best collab, Hockey. Hello, Isha. If he was beating the UFC flyweights of today, I'd maybe say he's GOAT. All right. In a world. Different opinion, no big deal. So who's your GOAT list? I got DJ up on top. DJ's up on top. I'd say George St. Pierre would be number 2. And Anderson Silva. Who would be just below him? Oh, since we're getting rid of Jones. Anderson Silva right below him. I'd have Aldo on that list as well. I'd have Pereira. He's creeping up there. He's creeping up real quick. DC, I'd have him in there. Fuck Connor. He's completely off the list. And some people have Fedor. That's a contentious topic, but it's whatever. Let me respond on your comment. Nice. Good stuff. For me, it's Jones. Yep. Silva, Fedor. There you go. And I can't be swayed in any way other than switching Jones and GSP. Yeah. Well, I think if you're a cheat and you're a caught cheat and you do it multiple times, you should be out of there. Adriana Moraes, twice. Ray Borg, John Dodson, twice. Henry Cejudo, that aged well. Joseph Benavidez, twice. Horiguchi. Yep. They're all great. Yes, they're all bums. I just think if O'Malley and DJ fight, DJ wrestle fucks him. I'd love to see that. Absolutely would love to see that. Fedor is up there for sure, too. Agree. Yeah, I'll cheat. Yeah, everyone's on steroids. Some cheat more than others, LNA. Some cheat way, way, way more and have been caught for it several times. Goat Coco is stale. Who's on the boat list? Baddest of all time, as in baddest motherfucker. Definitely Parker Porter. Would have to say. Oh God, who? Who else is just so right? Oh, James Vick. I got to put James Vick on there. Anyway, let's move on. So yeah, I feel like Tom Aspinall would absolutely sleep Jones, absolutely destroy him, but that's not going to happen. UFC Fight Nights. You might not have heard this news. UFC Fight Nights, and I'm saying Fight Nights because this is a TV deal, will likely be available on other TV channels beyond ESPN and ESPN Plus in the future. So in that case, I feel like Dana White better get us the fuck out of the Apex, because if he does not get us out, those TV deals are going to go up in flames, because they'll realize just how shit these cards sound and look and feel when you're watching them in the Apex. So Dana White, he claims he wants to get us out of the Apex. Oh yeah, we're going to get out eventually. Yeah, of course. Why was that? We're getting out of the Apex? Oh well, I'd give it a few more months. But yeah, we need to get out. We need to get out. And then he never does. He needs to. He needs to, or else some of these TV channels are going to dump his ass. Bass of all time, Gilbert Yvel and Babalu. Yes. Oh, Blood Diamond. Don't forget Blood Diamond. Hey, that's mean to Cowboy. He's kicked some fucking ass, dude. DJ also won the second Henry fight, in my opinion, as well. Yep. So that's Cejudo twice. Smash that like button, guys. Smash the smash. Let's get this to 50 likes. Can we get 50 likes, guys? I'm not asking much. Can we get 50 likes? Oh man, Hank the Tank. What a loser. Look at my Irish American over here. Let's get that like button up, people. Smash me like P. Diddy did. Come on, guys. See ya, hockey from home. I got to run, buddy. Peace out. Thank you very much, Isha. I'll catch you later. Are you streaming? Are you streaming today? Peace, hockey. See you in 45 seconds. 100 likes. 100 likes. Could we times that by 10? Maybe 1,000 likes. Can we get Mr. Beast level likes? I really, I would appreciate it. My heart goes out to you. Seriously. So anyway, they need to get the hell out of the Apex. Fighters are unlikely to get any more money from these new TV deals the UFC has had with other channels outside of ESPN because of Dana's no added bonus tirade last night, not wanting to ever increase the fight win bonus again. And sometimes I don't blame him. Any benefits the fighters had with sponsorships and custom merchandise and shorts have been gone since the mid-2010s. I want to get that point across. So Dana's already fucked over his talent for years. Dana doesn't give two damns about their financial health or their safety. Used to in the 2000s, hasn't since. But given the state of boxing and the cowardice of the UFC's top 15 fighters as of late, in terms of actually throwing together fights and actually putting on fights in the cage, sometimes I don't entirely blame him for fucking over the fighters, because the fighters fuck him over just as often. Hey, Sven Svensson. Good to see you, man. I love seeing you in the chat. You always have some interesting takes. Next time you go on a smash exploit, do it in Kai the Hitchhiker voice. Well, I'm going to look that up. Kai. Or do you mean Kai Car France, or who's Kai in this instance? I think there's another Kai I know. Kai something. He's on YouTube. That name's pretty common. Max earned his 600K, though. Yeah, absolutely. He did. Yeah. I'd say Patty didn't earn it as much, the 200K. I can understand why he got it, but at the same time, it was just a submission. You know, it wasn't even an exciting, I can't believe that happened. I mean, yeah, it was surprising the sub, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to remember this finish for the rest of my life level. Like, so I think Max earned the double bonus for sure. And I don't think Patty did. But yeah, but Dana, maybe this is just a hot phase for him. Maybe he's just a little pissed right now and he'll bring back the win bonuses later, but he seemed pretty pissed about him now. And I honestly think if Dana actually cared about the fighters, he would give them back their sponsorships, give them back their custom shorts, give them back their ways that they can make money outside of just the UFC's own promotion and collaborations. But yeah, we got new TV deals that's not benefiting the fighters. No, the murdering hitchhiker that is suing Theo Vaughn from prison. Are you saying like Dr. Hannibal Lecter Red Dragon style, like fucking with the guy with his enemy outside of prison? That is fucking insanity, dude. All right, I'm gonna have to look into that. That's a story and a half. Kai Kanat, The little cockroach looking fella. Yes, that's who I was thinking. Kai cannot. I saw that in my head. Oh yes. Yeah. Oh him? Him? Are you kidding me, dude? Wait, from behind a cell. Wait, is that a joke? That's got to be a joke. That's got to be a joke. He's a huge he's a huge YouTube channel at the moment. He went big after that Not Like Us reaction video. I'm pretty sure he's loving life. Even if he did get in trouble legally, there's no way he could go to prison. He's too influential. I'm gonna look up that hitchhiker story though. Give me 1 second. Theo Von hitchhiker. Oh, that guy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I saw that. What was the audio from him? Give me like a snippet of what Kai said in maybe he'll sue me too behind bars, but give me a quote of what Kai the Hitchhiker was, what that original song was he did. Kai the Hitchhiker apologized to Pope Francis. Jesus Christ, he's making videos from prison on his phone. That is a new level of pathetic. Yes, the homeless hitchhiker with the hatchet. One of the heroes. Yeah, can we talk to you? Do you mind? Oh, God. Kai the Hitchhiker is in heaven. This is schizophrenic shit. Surfing it up before I say anything else. I want to say, no matter what you've done, you deserve respect, even if you make mistakes. Oh, God. He's fucking pandering like Michael Chandler in this video. Jesus. I was driving. I was in the passenger side of this car. Comes over there. He says, oh, when I was in Virgin Islands. Oh, okay. The 14-year-old, I was like, oh, boy. Crying, gives me a big hug. He's like a 300-pound guy. Oh, Jesus. Jesus Christ, and I can't do anything. Smashed into this guy right here. Otherwise, bleed out. Oh, yeah. It comes out. Whoop-it! Goes out. Jesus. Kai cannot, the little cockroach. The story is crazy, worthy of a dive into. Every time you say smash over, I think of him. Yeah. The original interview, he says smash, smash, smash. All right. Oh, yeah, that's right. All right. Moving on to my next bit of MMA news I got for you. UFC Sphere card is not the biggest ever. I don't care what anybody says. It's not. It's big in terms of physical capacity. It's big in terms of, it'll be their physically biggest show. But in terms of what it has actually been thrown together, it's not the biggest ever. In fact, I think that it might just bomb as a card because, in my opinion, Sean O'Malley is still not a draw. He's still not getting people into the building. He's not charismatic in the press conferences. Maybe he gets the same amount as like Izzy fights every once in a while. And there have been bad pay-per-view draws for Izzy fights. And then it's got awful freaking Mexican cans in the prelims and early prelims who are rookies who probably aren't going to deliver big fights. It's only 10 fights, so it's not big in terms of how many fights are on the card. You have to freaking stand on the seats at the lowest on the lowest part of the arena. And I want to also say, can't we have 3 title fights for once? What happened to the good old days of super cards that like the UFC 217, where you're able to have a women's title fight and 2 men's title fights? It's like they really care about the fans and their enjoyment less and less and less. And another thing, do you think that it's bad to have a Spaniard as a main event on your Mexican Independence Day card? Good. It's good to have a freaking Spaniard on there because it gives the Mexican fans someone to root against on Independence Day. If anything, don't you follow like wrestling or just general matchmaking logic where you have a hated guy in the main event and you actually pay money just to see him get his karma? I mean, that's the whole point of freaking sports, to have beef and have bad guys that you root against. That's the perfect bad guy, Ilya Tapuria. He's fucking annoying from the get-go. Regardless of whether he was Spanish or not, he's just a fucking little rodent and a jerk. And anyone who is not born in Georgia or Spain probably hates his fucking guts, much less a fucking Mexican crowd. And of course, Max is the ultimate good guy. Everybody loves Max. That'd be perfect. I mean, there wouldn't be more tension or more anticipation for a card than it happening on Mexican Independence Day and someone to take out the evil Spaniard. You're not even in Mexico. You're in Vegas. Let's not pretend that, oh yeah, we're going out of the way to represent those Mexican fans. You'll show up in the United Emirates and in Saudi Arabia over and over and over again 4 times a year, but you won't show up in Mexico twice for this Mexican themed show. That doesn't make any sense to me. It would be the perfect matchup. People would want to see Tapuria get his comeuppance. He's from Spain, so they'd hate him. I think they'd pay money for it. Maybe it's disrespectful to Mexican Independence Day, but it's not like you're respecting Mexico anyway by having this in Vegas. So, and you're not even respecting their physical comfort by having these horrible seating arrangements. You're fucking over the fans either way. You're literally fucking them over in every single way. Even Hernandez versus Pereira is getting taken off that card and put on the Saudi shows and put on the Middle Eastern shows. And so, you're just trying to sabotage your own show, the biggest ever. And you don't even care about the Mexican fan base enough to have the fights that you booked on the card. So have Max Holloway versus Tapuria. You're actually rewarding the fans regardless of what their freaking heritage is. And if anything, if Ilya Tapuria got beaten up by Max Holloway over 5 rounds and won the featherweight title, that'd be the ultimate thrill for them. But Dana and Hunter they're not the brightest bulbs in the box. They actually got stale and expired somewhere around 2015. Never been good since. Sean O'Malley's not Conor, Oliveira, or Alex Pereira. He's not the same kind of main event draw as much as the UFC tries. It's a horrible main event to put on the biggest show of all time. Yeah, not even close. Big an amount of people who will be standing for 7 hours. Exactly, Denial. The Sphere is the show. Yeah, but it's too bad anything inside of the Sphere isn't. Sean's fans stream fights and can't afford Sphere tickets. Yeah, exactly. Not a draw. Who's bigger draw, Patty or O'Malley? Oh, yikes. Well, it really depends on how you push it. Like if you had Hinato Moicano versus Patty Pimblett on like a fight night or on the main card of pay-per-view, people would definitely buy that shit. I think Patty's got good casuals. Patty probably has UK fans who would come to the arena to watch him fight, whereas O'Malley, like Denial just said, they fucking stream fights. They don't pay for them or watch them, from the capacity of the arena. So if anything, I think Patty, if he keeps winning, might end up being a bigger draw than O'Malley. Patty draws more paying fans. Exactly. Denial and I are on the exact same wavelength right now. I love that Max respects all respectful fighters and treats Ilya like a little chump because that's how he acts. Yeah, exactly. Little fucking social warrior from behind his little keyboard, social justice warrior. Even though he has no values, no interests, he has no morals either. He's just a little jerk, and he's manipulating people in order to get his way, in order to have the exact fight that he wants, in order to push it out, in order to frustrate his opponents. It's brilliant work from Tapuria. It's making sure that he gets his opponents angry, but at the same time, you're not gaining many fans through that. And if anything, maybe people in fucking Spain would boo you. You're getting so fucking annoying at this point. Since Belal won, does that mean his God cared more about him than Leon? Because they are both religious but believe in different gods. Islam is the best base for MMA. It is the ultimate religious base for MMA. And so if you want to start fighting, you got to start praying to Allah to answer your prayers, because Allah seems to be delivering, is all I'll say. Should ask them both that and watch the world burn. Uh-oh. We got a new Palestine? Hamas. We got a new Israel Hamas. Oh no. Anyway, last bit of news I got for you guys. And this is more focused on next week than anything else. Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov is happening in Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates. Yes. Who have, by the way, their country has been responsible for disappearances, human rights crimes, accelerating climate change, along with the slaughter of people in Yemen. And we're going back there for Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov, as well as giving them basically everything they want in terms of good fights, good venue, and just putting on a show. Dana's always selling out for that oil and blood money. So now the UFC is going to be there more often. Oh, and also allowing them to steal fights that would otherwise be reserved for pay-per-views, as we saw with Pereira versus Anthony Hernandez, as well as other ones that would otherwise be on fight nights and other shows. Those are getting swapped out and put on Middle Eastern cards instead of being put in pay-per-views where local fans can watch them. And maybe Dana will get disappeared one of these days. Who knows? Still, the card's stacked. I will admit the Saudis really pulled on Dana's arm with this one. Otherwise, he would not be stacking this card as much as he would. Didn't they ruin a whole city using their cloud seeding machine and overdid it and rained for days, but they had no drainage in the city? Yep. That's why if you go to Human Rights Watch, it'll say that they're absolutely terrible for the environment and they've contributed to climate change and ruined whole communities and been responsible for violence in Yemen. Dana knew about this. Hunter knew about this. The UFC knew about this for a while now, and they still have themselves involved with them, as well as Saudi Arabia. Hank, did you know that the Saudi royals are crypto? A rabbi went there, killed the sultan, and assumed his identity. Interesting. Is this replacement theory? Because here's the thing, Sniff. I have some cloning theories regarding some of the fighters that were on UFC 304. Tom Aspinall's one of them. The guy from Ronnie Black from Karate Combat was also cloned in a lab. And yeah, anyone who looked good before and then came out worse, or was bad before and came out good in the UFC was definitely cloned. There are some replacement theories there. Playing God, yeah, exactly. Because they're egotists, because they made all their money and they got lucky and they struck oil in a certain part of the world, and now they're basically holding the entire world hostage with their oil reserves, as they've done for decades and decades and decades. Like we had with the U.S. with the oil embargo in the 1970s, that basically forced us to make deals with them and then eventually get into wars with them over the oil because we were starved of oil for almost an entire decade. Because we defended Israel. We defended Israel, who have not turned out to be the greatest country in the world right now. And we paid for it then, and we're currently paying for it now. Continue to defend them because they're our only ally in that region. And honestly, I think we could make some other allies beyond them. Cloning doppelganger theories are interesting. They are. Well, Sniff, what do you think of the Paul McCartney doppelganger theory with the Beatles? Do you think that Paul McCartney emerged a new human being in the late 1960s? And if you watch Rick and Morty, you know all those characters were cloned at some point. So, man, that's crazy. They're taking over the world. We all love allies with a little controversy. We sure do, including every single dictatorship in Central America during the 1980s. We've been pals with tyrants in south of the border since 1930s. Always elected people with authoritarian values. Not democracies, because those don't benefit our trade interests. And then once the people of those countries start to revolt and start to form their own political movements, usually they get destroyed by armies that we helped develop. Yeah, the real Paul died a long time ago. Well, let me ask you something, Sniff. What do you think of Paul Clone's most recent music? I think he released a couple albums before. He even recreated the Beatles in a hologram show. He recreated their voices, Sniff, in the last song the Beatles did, the last song the Beatles performed. Paul McCartney, he recreated the voices and made them all AI. Now the Beatles have truly been cloned. Who was the real John Lennon? Did they replace him in a lab too? The world may never know. But yeah, I lean more towards the former. But there are a lot of cloning theories out there. But anyway, yeah, it's just a deal with money. The truth is, guys, that America has always been interested in becoming a globalized country and outsourcing its jobs, as well as its general economic matters and corporate partnerships. They always try to get rid of jobs in order to spread their businesses elsewhere and make more money. That's what the corporations want. And so This includes Dana White and the UFC, who want to globalize the UFC, want to make it a worldwide thing. Usually it comes at the cost of the employees. In this case, they are actually benefiting fighters by reaching out to other regions and getting people who otherwise wouldn't be MMA fighters the spotlight. But it usually comes at the cost of shows that are absolute disasters, dealing with tyrants, dealing with guys who are just corrupt, countries that would absolutely shut the doors during dinner and not let you leave if you said something bad. And so the truth is that combat sports in general, like sports revolving, like it could be wrestling, it could be mixed martial arts in general, they're always involved with dictatorship countries. Always have been. It's been corrupt for a while. Like boxing has been rigged and fixed in several ways. They work for casinos. They've gone out to countries that have not been the best. In fact, there have been boxing fights like from Muhammad Ali that have actually like brought violent countries together into forming peace packs. And so we've the UFC as well as general combat sports has always flirted a little bit with the not so moral in the government sphere. I'm so jacked and ripped, I can't stop looking at myself in the mirror. I'm flexing. And every few seconds, I'll come to read the chat. Well, the thing is, Sniff, do you think that you were created in a lab, my friend? You think you used to look like Colby was hanging out with John Jones in his apartment back in the early 2010s and then found yourself in the cloning machine. But instead of a fly finding its way into the machine, you came out a perfect human being that was fully fucking ripped. And I hope that you're not pulling a Jones, but I do hope that you are performing scientific experiments to make sure to create the Ubermensch, the ultimate human being, ja. I hope you're doing it the safe way and using science to benefit yourself. Don't do drugs. The drugs are bad, okay? Yes, Colby Jonesington. Yeah, nice. Well, Colby was a very handsome boy back in the day. There's a reason that Colby Covington is always going like that is because Usman freaking broke his jaw and he had to have it repaired afterwards. So Colby is looking fucking like a wax figure in a museum right now. Man's jaw is so freaking wired shut. Colby is a very strange human being, but he used to be a nice, good lad back in the day, and then the UFC corrupted him and turned him into a monster, a gimmicky character over time. But anyway, are you guys looking forward to Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov? Have you even looked at the card? I don't think I have, if I'm being honest. Let's look through this. Let's see what we got. I think it's going to be good fights. I will tell you guys that I'm not doing my Hank the Tank fight companion for Fight Night Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov, and it's not due to morals, okay? I have my financial interests as well, you hear me? We done Saudi Arabia recaps. We want that oil money too, you hear? But it's because I'm doing some stuff with a friend on the weekend, and so I can't attend this time, but I will be available for the next show. Umar, the pullout merchant, probably misses weight or something. Yeah, or sprains his ankle, and then, oh no, he's not at full mobility capacity. Umar needs to be 100% safe and in shape and prepared for this fight, but he stubbed his toe in the shower, Denial. I don't think he can make it. He's not 100% right now. When you ask somebody who was injured to compete on the biggest stage of them all, they're asking too much of Umar, man. He's fragile. He's fragile. Having a life is super necessary. Yeah, exactly, Denial. It's as Mr. Krabs said, I've got a life. So, I got to take breaks every once in a while. I'm also planning some little meetups with people this week beyond the weekend. So I'm trying to actually enjoy my little vacation getaway. I think O'Malley will move to 145 and be a two-weight champ. Then as he gets close to retirement, he will get a title shot at 155 and end career as the real Triple C. The king of cringe, Sean O'Malley. Yeah, he's going to be cringe times 3 after a while. And then make a bunch of stupid GIFs like licking his belt or something. Oh, I love you, Goldie. Whoa, you'll never leave Daddy again. And then, well, I use that belt. I have it on my waist when I let my wife do it with another guy. I just like to sit in the corner and watch because, I give her those $1 million. I make sure to help out my whole family, including my wife, by letting her have affairs with other guys. And, we like to have the belts on the bed. We like to pull a Shawn Michaels. We like to pull a Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti. I mean, we like having the belts in bed, dear, and I'm sure John Jones too. When he's in the car looking for zesty men. The exact speech AI will write for Dana. Yeah, for sure. It's the fight to make. It's the fight to make. Sean O'Malley. I love everything about this kid. He should just fight Ilya Taporia. He's the guy to knock out Tom Aspinall. This guy's a sensation. He has so much charisma. And if you don't know, now you know. Impression of Ariel Helwani having nightmares that Alexa Grasso's feet are going to shut down the PFL and beat Jake Paul.
It should have been me. I should have been the one at Alexa Grasso's feet. I should have been her manager like Diego Lopez. I would have had every one of those little piggies in my mouth. Wait. Why doesn't Alexa Grasso do an in-person interview with me? I'd love to show her some interesting positions, like in the Mahdi Vishnu in that Indian book from all those centuries ago, you guys. I want to be the new Tarantino. She totally beats Jake Paul. And that's not good for me.
I have my good friend Jacob Paul in a video interview after his fight with Alexa Grasso,
and I'm torn, you guys. I love them both. I should have been in her gym during Tough.
This comment motivated me to go charge my phone and get ready to work out. Thank you, Denial. Thank you. Thank you for encouraging yourself to do something with your life. Remember, you are your best friend and you are your greatest motivation at the end of the day. Just make sure to not pull a freaking ACL like John Jones, lad. Salute, Hanks. Thanks. Solid stream. Thank you very much, Denial. I'm going to be wrapping up in a few minutes, but I want to go the full hour for all you filthy animals out there. I played that out loud for my girlfriend. She says to stop.
I mean, what the heck? No Chill's girlfriend. I'm the greatest MMA journalist of all time. Everyone has to listen to my opinion, you guys.
You know what? No Chill's girlfriend. I am not having you for an in-person interview.
I think Alexa Grasso looks sexier. What can I say, you guys? Sky Nicholson is so much better.
You could have had your chance to be the UFC women's GOAT,
but instead you chose Chinese food instead of Mexican food. I mean, what the heck, you guys?
All right, let's go over the fight card for Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov tonight. Shamil Gaziev versus Don'Tale Mayes. Oh my God, help us. Dude, if Gaziev doesn't knock out Mayes and he just fucking dies on the bench, on the stool, that'd be really funny, but come on, just get him out of there quick, Gaziev. I beg of you. Don't have a heart attack. Cedric the Dumbass versus Denis Tululian. I wish Denis Tululian the best of luck. I hope he whips Dumas's ass and just he has a good battle with the Dumbass and gets the win. I gotta hope because he is a dumbass. Or maybe he should eye poke Cedric Dumas and then he'll finish him on the ground because Gary Copeland won't be paying attention. And then have Jai Herbert. How is Jai Herbert still in the UFC? Guys had absolutely rotten performances as of late. Versus Rolando Bedoya, who cares? Dudakova, the dude. Dudakova in women's clothing. Victoria Dudakova versus Sam Hughes. Wow. And this is some MMA news, actually. This might be some MMA news to wrap up my stream here. Garam Kutateledze is taking on Jordan Vucenic from Cage Warriors, who has looked phenomenal, like a real phenom in Cage Warriors as of late, just submitting everybody they throw in front of him. And then Garam, I honestly think is quite overrated. Brenner slept him. He's had really close decisions that shouldn't have been. Vucenic probably just takes him down and subs him, and I'm definitely rooting for Vucenic this Saturday. And I think he's just such a fantastic athlete and fought recently. I actually think that Vucenic could easily get that done. And we had Muhammad Yahya, girlfriend. Dude, that's my bae, Yahya, against Kyle Fernandez. Let's look at Fernandez's record, for fuck's sake. 8-2. Oh, lost to Mark Diaz. Yeah. Going with Yahya all day there. Alonzo Menifield versus Murzakanov. And remember, dumbass Atomic Alonzo just coming in swinging like Derek Brunson against Carlos Oldberg before he got knocked the fuck out. I'll squash little Jim. Khabib's dad when asked about his rematch with COVID. Yikes, Sniff. That's a little settle down, Beavis. I think you laid it on a teensy bit thick there, old pal. Azamat Murzakanov beat Dustin Jacoby via unanimous decision. Didn't finish him. Didn't finish Dustin Jacoby and Dominic Reyes could. Devin Clark ground and pound. Okay, I mean that's a close enough matchup. Maybe I'll take Alonzo Menafield there, but that's an upset waiting to happen. Joel Alvarez versus Elvis Brenner. Finally, the return of Brenner. That'll be fun. Oh, Doris choke on Mark Diakedze from Joel Alvarez. That's not that impressive. That might be an upset for Brenner. Maybe. He stayed on the feet with Orobai, so wouldn't put it past him. And Mackenzie Dern versus Lupita Godinez. Oh yeah, Lupita's gonna fucking whoop her ass. Tony Ferguson, man, versus Michael Chiesa. At least they're giving Ferguson a complete soy boy, so he actually. They always fucking trick us into thinking this, having some hope for Tony Ferguson in his fights, but I bet Chiesa just puts him in a fucking Darce choke and just sleeps him. Marlon Vera versus Davison Figueiredo. That's actually going to be a banger of a fight. Looking forward to that. Davison Figueiredo has takedowns, though. He probably takes down Marlon Vera and just fucking subs him, even though he's taller, because Marlon Vera fucking sucks. And then Shara Bullet Magomedov, the evil coward, Pearl Harbor, attacks somebody from behind after he kisses his girlfriend. Magomedov versus Mikhail Olegzashik, thrown together on short notice, as only the UFC can do. God, does Mikhail win that fight? I don't know, man. At least he's still in the UFC, but does he get pieced up on the feet? It's tough to say. Honestly, Mikhail could win that fight. That might be a good underdog. And then Corey Sandhagen versus Umar. God, what do I think of this fight? I mean, who was it that dropped him? Somebody just dropped. He dropped Umar Nurmagomedov recently. Beksat Almakhan, yeah, he dropped him. Is Sandhagen that good on the feet though? He hasn't looked that good as of late. He's been mostly relying on grappling, and he probably gets out grappled by Umar. He just needs that punch to put him away, but I haven't seen it from Sandhagen as of late. I might lean Umar in that fight, unfortunately. Hey, what's up, Irish Animal? Good to see you, man. You caught me at a bad time. I'm probably just about to head out, but you got anything for me? Give me your best shot. Maybe do some promotion or just send a comment my way before I head out. But yeah, anyway, Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov. They're selling out. We know they're selling out, so. It happens. Will it ever end? I highly doubt it. If they're going to have Riyadh season freaking every single month, they're not going to escape the desert anytime soon. The desert. But yeah, it's just weird. Let me look at some things. Wait 1 second. Boop boo doo doo boo doo boop boop boo doo do 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 do. All right, nobody's responding, so I might as well head out. Thank you guys for hanging out for me for a full hour. I appreciated chatting with you guys. Great to see some new people join the Skate Tank MMA podcast live experience. And got one last thing to say. You have escaped the war zone. For now. Where you at, Jones? I see you right there in the closet. Get out of there, man. You'll get a splinter. Off you go, John Joe. Wait a minute. I got a comment. Peace out. I sub. Thank you very much, Sniff. Ta-ta, Tank. Ta-ta, Irish Animal. Ta-ta. You escaped the war for now. Where you at, Jones? He's gone. He's gone.